I think we are live. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another edition, a special edition for 4th of July weekend for the F.A.R.SiGHT Report. My name is Rico Lamite.
And I'm Fred Smith.
And what's happening, Fred? How's your week, brother?
Oh, man. Just a lot of fireworks all over the place. Keyword fire.
Fire. How's your week been, man?
It's been fire, bro. Just a lot of changes and shifts and watching the markets do exactly what we said they were going to do.
Watching them do what they do.
Yep, watching them do what they do.
I could dig it, man. Sorry we're a little bit late this morning. I point thumbs, not fingers. That's on me. Had a little technical difficulties, and then also I'm a little hungover. We had a little birthday dinner last night, and I don't drink. I had a couple of beverages, and I'm sweating right now.
Yeah. Shout out to Keith Sweat.
Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown had a great verses, man, this week, man. Like, really? Yeah. One game, man. Bobby Brown still got it. He's still stepping into the future, man. Like, you know.
Wow.
Leave it alone.
Yep.
Right. All right, so we got a full lineup today. Staying hydrated over here.
Super hydrated.
A full lineup of stuff to talk about today. It has been a crazy week. And then at the end of the week, we have, I just want to let it out immediately. Sha'Carri Richardson. What are your thoughts on Sha'Carri Richardson and the whole story with that, Fred?
My thing is, I think that people just aren't aware. I mean, we do it every day. It's kind of like we understand the dynamics, but from a world perspective, even though they're waking up, they're behind the times, bro.
Yeah,
literally. I mean, it's just like, what do you do when you know for a fact it doesn't harm anything and it's not a performance enhancer?
Yeah,
maybe they think it is because you're using your new cannabinoid system. I don't know, but the questions need to be asked. And I never liked the Olympics in the first place, so fuck if they can't take a joke.
I mean,
just can't stand them.
Take it back to the original Olympics, right? Oiled up, greased up, naked men wrestling and shit like that. Do you think they weren't on performance enhancing drugs at that point? Like performance enhancing drugs that go back to the beginning of sport.
No,
cannabis is not one of those.
It's not a drug.
Yeah, it's real fucked up, but it's very timely.
Yeah.
For what we're going on as a nation, both on the racial front as well as on the cannabis front. It's just a sad story, like all around. The way I view it, I know she and her team have not said this, but the way I view it, like she took a plea deal in order to have that glimmer of hope that she can be on like the 4x100 team, and so she can serve out this 1 month bullshit suspension. She admitted to guilt, number one. She admitted publicly, number two, and number three, she has to go through this drug rehab bullshit program. For what? Like, that's where we are as a nation right now. You know, the fastest woman in the world, coping with her grief as she should.
Yeah.
Using cannabis, using medicine, not doing anything fucking destructive.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I you're right. You hit the nail on the head with that, bro. Because even when I'm not medicating, I'll be thinking some destructive shit, bro.
Right.
Just call it for what it is.
If she wasn't, I mean, I try not to think like life in hypotheticals, but you know, she was in Oregon, legal state, and if she wasn't there, would she have smoked? Would she have consumed?
Well,
like if cannabis wasn't legal. Let's say she got wasted that night and did some fucked up shit, you know, but she didn't.
It's a real option.
She medicated. I don't see, I mean, there's been no videos, no nothing like out, like showing her like wilding out or doing anything like on that. Like she medicated, nobody knew about it. She got popped on the test and now she can't fucking run. Like fastest woman ever in all history, cannot run, cannot represent our country on the Olympic stage. And that's where we are as a fucking nation right now. We're so dysfunctional. We're so behind the times in terms of science, in terms of personal rights.
Yeah.
Like, we're so fucked up as a nation where we're like, oh yeah, well, you can do what the fuck you want to do, like on a global level, but you can't smoke weed to cope with your mother's death. Like, that doesn't represent who we are as a nation. Who are we as a nation right now? Who are we, Fred? That's my question. Like, who the fuck are we? Like, if we can't cope with the death of a family member,
yeah,
privately, and then go ball the fuck out, like blow everybody away with your performance, but you're punished for that.
Sounds political. Seriously, that's just what it boils down to. It's just like, I know with me, like literally, even when I was working with some of the vets and going to some of these events, there's a high correlation between like people being depressed on that level because they're so high performers anyway to begin with,
right,
that they're not able to connect with anybody else once they come out of those environments. Because I've met a lot of pro athletes who are in that lane, a lot of Olympic athletes who were in that lane too. Right. They got the Olympic training facility down in San Diego, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I've actually been through and experienced this with these guys and girls and everybody else. And it's just like, you're right, man. It's just like she got her life taken away from her. That's really how I look at it. You know, that's all she's been training for. That's all she's done. And now it's like, you're right there, literally at the quote unquote best pinnacle of your career and your life at the Olympics. And they go, no. You know,
and the crazy thing is, like, people don't understand how hard it is to get to the Olympics.
Oh yeah,
like it's 4 years. Anything can happen within that 4 years.
Oh yeah,
we might have seen like the last of Sha'Carri Richardson, and people are like, oh yeah, she's young, she have plenty of time. Yes, but who's to say they
don't think like that?
Yeah, like tomorrow is not fucking promised.
She does not think like that. I work with too many pro athletes, even the ones who get a chance to go close to the NFL, like the collegiate athletes, and they know for a fact they're done. Yeah. Like, I don't know how that was your experience, but literally you're just like, well, fuck, I've been doing this all my life. Like, what do I do now? That's
playing dope.
Well,
I was in that position.
Yeah, like being real with you.
I'm going to the NFL. I got hurt, so I started slinging dope.
Yeah.
Like, what else can you do? Like that is all you're training for. And like shout out to the NCAA, like this week finally succumbing to the Supreme Court pressure and paying these motherfuckers. Like,
National Coalition of African Americans.
National Coalition of Indentured Servitude. That is death to the fucking NCAA. Like fuck them. Like they're finally allowing people to profit off of their name.
Yeah, bro.
And fuck that predatory bullshit. Yeah. Like they take motherfuckers like me in the rural fucking South, or middle bumblefuck nowhere, or they take motherfuckers like from the inner city.
Yeah.
You don't have much prospect, and you sell them on the dream, like, oh, you're gonna make it to the NFL. Oh, you're gonna make it to the NBA. Less than fucking 3% make it to the next fucking level.
Yeah.
And then you're assed out with some dumbass, bum ass fucking major that has nothing to do with real life, and you end up addicted to opioids on the street slanging dope.
And even if you get lucky, you'll make the money, but you don't know how to keep it, because I've seen that side of the equation too. It's crazy, bro.
Right. So what the fuck is America? What the fuck is our fucking value system? Like, is there a fucking value system besides money?
I would go there, but I'm not
the global cartel.
I'll be nice today.
The global fucking cartel.
So the Constitution dead?
It hasn't been updated in 250 years, man. Like
neither was Rome, but that's why they fell, right? Because we're based off of Roman Empire principles.
Hey. So let's talk about profiting during chaos.
You see, we can go there. We got some smart brothers on this side. You know what I'm
saying? I'm just saying, like fuck your morals, man. Morals, like,
it's all about positioning, bro. Whoever's got the most money wins. That's how these laws get made.
Morals are subjective, and
they're very subjective.
We're in a position right now that we're in such a hypocritical state of being in our country. Like,
but haven't we ever been there?
It's come to a fucking tipping point within our generation You know,
I think it was before that personally. I think it was when they were making us latchkey kids during our generation.
bring back the
Yeah,
latchkey
let's
kids,
go there, bro. You really want to talk?
I'm thinking military, non-military people know like latchkey kids are, but but
the disintegration of the family from back in the 50s, you know.
But
now,
what is the fucking family? Like the nuclear family is a bunch of bullshit too. Like family is like the whole thing. Like this whole fucking house of cards is fucking blowing over. And if you don't see the hypocrisy of everything that's going on right now from Sha'Carri Richardson and that bullshit that she's getting suspended for fucking like literally for grieving.
Yeah.
For better or worse, like for fucking grieving.
Yeah.
Like was she supposed to fucking go on an opioid binge? Is she supposed to get on a bunch of antidepressants? Is she supposed to fucking go chug a bunch of alcohol and fucking end up in a ditch somewhere? Like, no.
She did something with her life and she transformed that energy. And I think that's what I personally see,
right.
Because I'm walking that path as well, like literally walking that path. And it's hard sometimes. And you know, you already, it's bad enough we already get that label. I'm like, fuck your labels. I don't care nothing about that. I know how to get out there and get after it and get it. So, you know, and I think that's what we need to be doing more of is really showing people how to overcome all of this shit. And unfortunately for her, again, it's more of a knowledge issue. And what I mean by that is like, these people know what the fuck they're doing. They're in positions of power. They may not know all the wherewithal as far as like what goes on in the cannabis industry, but the FBI calls it a clue when hemp is already legalized. CBD's been going that way. You know, while you may not understand this one part of the plant, it has way more good than evil ever. And that's just how I see it, you know. So why would you penalize somebody who really is looking for other options, to your point, than, you know, doing drugs, you know, drinking, right. Alcoholism is very much a real disease. You know, my dad suffered from that.
Right.
You know, he had PTSD really bad before it was even called PTSD. He was out there like me. So you know, I will put her on that same level because again, some of these athletes get the shit beat out of them. Some of them go through this mental trauma. I mean, it's just like, I don't give a fuck whether people like what I'm saying or not. You know, the reality of it is she's a human being. She's doing her best in life and she's being cut off from a resource, and she can't do more. And to me, that's probably like the hardest roadblock, because I've watched athletes literally like her. They're right there, and she's actually there. She actually pushed through and she's there. So it wasn't even one of those hopium addictions that they do with your NCAA people, because that's really hopium. They're selling you on bullshit. Oh yeah, you're going to make the NFL, blah, blah, blah. She actually went through she checked all the boxes to become an Olympic athlete, period.
Right.
She checked the boxes. So
some fucking bullshit. Dude.
Yeah, you're penalizing her because she's just looking for an alternative, you know, and to me, that's beyond human to me.
Yeah, we got a lot of shit that's fucked up in this country, man. And like I said, I think it's just like coming to a head. Like we're at a massive point of reckoning. Like what is going to, you know, like every generation we've had like a moment that actually like reel people back in.
Oh yeah.
Like what is going to be like the moment, the false flag that the government puts out that brings us back that brings us back.
That happens. Tell me more. Wrong show.
Like, what is the moment that we're gonna be fucking sold as a fucking nation? Like, oh, this is our kumbaya moment. Like
Close Encounters, bro. That's where we're at.
Aliens. Like I've been saying that, man. Like, just say it. Just Asteroid Day. It was 2 days ago.
Yeah, so, happy Asteroid Day.
All right, so off of Sha'Carri. All right, so we can talk all day on that. Like, just
yeah, that's a very powerful topic to me. I think I'm glad you opened up with that one.
Yeah, it just tugs at the heartstrings because it's close to me because I was an athlete. Yeah. I understand like all of that shit, and I can only imagine what she's going through just with the grief and then all the pressure that's on her.
That's real, man.
Like
she's on the stage right now. I don't think she really even just because you're an Olympic athlete doesn't mean that you're always in the news and on stage. I want to be clear about that.
Right.
But she has the world stage right now. That's I don't even know if she's been trained to handle that kind of shit, man. That's a lot of pressure.
There's only so much you can train for when you're that young. You're 20. She just turned 21 years old. Like you can be above and beyond your years and maturity, but there's only so much. Like when you're at the pinnacle of your career, you just broke every world record and you're about to perform on the biggest stage on earth. Like there's only so much that you can do. So I don't think like any of us can ever understand what she's going through. But I just gotta say, man, let her run. Let her fucking run. If you guys care, if the U.S. fucking anti-doping agency cares about anything, like yo,
that's why I hate that word dope in our culture, bro. And I'm very serious about that. When you look at Reefer Madness, they tied what we do into dope. That's how that word got created, and then they've made it cool to say that word. I've actually been struggling with that, bro, because I know when we say that's dope, it's like, well, that's a real drug. So maybe we need to just help them shift the narrative and say something else, man.
You're gonna say like you drop the N word too, like come on, Jesse Jackson, like you trying to Al Sharpton on this?
Nah, man, but look, there's a duality in that word right now because that's what she's struggling against. We're saying dope, and they're the anti-doping place. Then in their mind, it registers that way. That's how homonymic languages work.
Well, I am like this is very unpopular, right? In his unpopular speech, unpopular standpoint in many circles that I stand in. So this has nothing to do with Canivision Global. It has nothing to do with any of the circles that I'm in. But me personally,
here's the pitch.
me personally, I'm like, yo, like let motherfuckers shine, like
yeah. I don't understand why that's unpopular though, bro.
Like I said, like from the beginning of time, there have been performance enhancing drugs and people trying to get around that to gain an edge, right? Like, would it not be dope if you just see motherfuckers jumping from the 3-point line, like dunking from fucking like NBA jam?
You know what it is, bro? I figured it out. We're in competition with the cyborgs.
Oh. I don't want to be a cyborg, yo. Like, can I get my back back? Can I get my knees back? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's where it's going, and I'm being very serious about that. Like, you know, that's called competition, where you can just do it naturally or do it some other ways versus just watching one person who becomes a cyborg and doing that shit for real.
Right, and you have
we're there.
I mean, you have like all of these politicians. You have all these politicians against like trans athletes. Like, the scientific fact behind this, this is not opinion. Scientific fact behind that, it shows that people who go through a chemical transition, and all that, they all react differently. There is no concrete evidence of anybody who has transitioned and actually excels and beats.
Bro, real time. I did not put this on my phone. Look at what's on here right now. I did not. This isn't even on. I don't even know how I got to this page.
Probably if you were on
change.org. Anyway, look, there's people.
No, it's probably because you were on our shit and you like because I put the link.
Well, 2710 have signed. We need to get to 5,000. So
get to 5K. But no. Where was I fucking going? You cut off my fucking train of thought.
I'm sorry, bro. I love you. My bad. I hate when I do that.
No, I'm saying like from the beginning of time, people have been using performance enhancing drugs. Like who are we to stop people? There's always going to be like more people doing that. Like the fact that cannabis is getting caught up in that same conversation is utter bullshit. Period. I believe personally, like stop penalizing people. People are going to put in their body what they want to put in your body. I personally know motherfuckers that like. I personally didn't see past living past like 25 years old.
Me too. I mean, that's facts. That's
so if I'm thinking like that as a young human being, as a young American, like what's to stop me from putting some like crazy bullshit in my body so I can make it to the next level and so I can make millions of dollars?
I think you have a different viewpoint like I do now that you're past that 25-year-old mark. For me, it was literally 17, 18 years old. And she's 20. So I don't know if she struggled with the same thing we did as far as the inner city and that, because the Oregon's kind of rough. They got some rough areas up there. I've been there, you know. Super. Matter of fact, the last time I was
up there. But she was there for the Olympic trials.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like in general, I don't know enough about her background to know that.
And she's from Dallas.
Oh, shout out to Harry Hines Boulevard.
The Big D. What up, Dallas? What up, Texas?
Texas,
I
man.
swang and I swing.
That's Houston, man.
All right, so let's get off of Sha'Carri right now. All right, so Oklahoma law is taking us backwards. So Oklahoma appellate court just reversed a decision. So apparently, this dude, this guy had expired tags and didn't have a seatbelt on, allegedly. Was pulled over by the cops. He was a white dude too. And they said that they smelled a strong odor of raw cannabis.
Mm.
The police did not ask him or his, I think his wife was in a seat with them, did not ask him for a medical card. They did not ask him anything further. They proceeded to search his vehicle and then searched his hotel room. In his hotel room, they found a bunch of meth.
Wow.
Right? He beat the case.
Mm-hmm.
They appealed.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost the case. And they said the fact that his background, he was tied to the Irish mob gang and like all this other stuff, that gave them probable cause to search the vehicle after smelling marijuana.
That's not the way it works.
Oklahoma court just said that it is.
Wow. Shout out to John Rambo. They don't even understand.
First blood.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are we doing, bro? We're back in the 80s now.
That gave them probable cause.
Wow.
So Oklahoma law now
That's
specifically says if you have the odor of cannabis, a raw odor of cannabis, it is probable cause for any law enforcement to search your vehicle now.
Now, is that East Oklahoma or West Oklahoma? The reason I'm, it's become more, because it's more, it's like they went back to where Native Americans have half the state. And I think that's like East, that's Tulsa and all those places like that. But to me, that's just beyond even a setback. It's just, it's beyond even invasion of privacy. You're just no longer a human being at that point in time, bro. Because literally, when I had to learn all that stuff in the Marines, there's a certain way you have to stop, search and seizure, questions that you have to ask. And that's on a military level. And it's 2 sets of laws, just so y'all know. But literally, it's just like when you're getting to that point. Yeah. When you're getting to that point, then you've lost humanity. And I'm very serious about that. Like, it's already bad enough that I'm DWB in OC. You know what I'm saying? And I've had those stories before, driving a luxury car, and literally like, oh, well, your headlights out. I'm like, this is a luxury car. When you turn left or right, it goes off. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
And then they want to stop you for other bullshit. I mean, to me, that's up there with that.
Right. So Tulsa,
out of all places.
Yeah,
wow.
it was in Tulsa, and dude's name.
They can do whatever they want. Sovereign nation, sir. Right.
Yeah. The guy Brandon James Roberson, who was apparently tied to the Irish mob gang. They knew this. Somehow they knew that about him, and that gave them probable cause to move in because of a strong marijuana smell. That gave them probable cause to go and search his motel room. Like how does that even compute? Like
it does. If he's a convicted felon,
but he's not.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm walking through the logic in my mind. I'm trying to do my best, But literally, if it's like that, then the laws do change. You've had probable cause. I mean, that's legit. But if that wasn't even the case, then yeah, what are we talking about? But again, that's a bigger question for me now because they are a sovereign nation. How does that roll up to the Supreme Court? Because I don't think that's ever happened before.
But it sets dangerous precedent, man. Like straight up, that is dangerous precedent. And I hate using cliches, but it's a fucking slippery slope. Like if federal appellate court just gave police the power to go off of, I smell marijuana out the fucking car. Period. You talking about like driving while black, man. Driving while black, we get pulled over at an alarmingly high rate.
It's 2021. It still happens. Matter of fact, the last time I got pulled over, the guy asked me whose car is this.
Yeah. So even though this shit happened to a white man, we're gonna face the blowback because of that. Because like, I smell weed. Probable cause.
None of we're in California, bro. I don't know if people hotbox. I've never hotboxed out here, but seriously, it's just like we're in California. It's different.
I mean, that's not even the fucking point, though. They can say that they smell weed. It might be no weed at all.
Like, are you hating me? Would you like some, bro? Because it's legal here.
Does a dash cam, does a body cam pick up odor? No. All I can say, I smell fucking marijuana in here, and then you body cam, bow, bow, bow.
I don't know, man. That sounds a little too. There's a certain way that you just got to approach the situation. Here's how I've been able to survive. Shout out to all the black guys who know, like, hey, look, am I under arrest? Am I free to go? It's just literally that simple, bro. Because whenever they stop you,
you're under. I promise you. Philando Castile.
Bro,
I'm
gonna tell you from my personal experience.
Okay, from your experience.
I can only go from my experience. Yeah. I can't go from other people's experience, but literally because I don't also go out there and start shit. Some of us do start shit. Doesn't matter whether you're black or white. All of these motherfuckers are on one because they want to go home to their families. And I'm not defending them. But what I am saying is just that every situation is unique. I think that this personal situation, because that's in Oklahoma, not California, it may set a precedent for felons. It could. There's not enough data for me to just really speculate. That's all I'm saying.
But what I am saying is what we have seen in the age of mass surveillance and in the age of community surveillance too, is sometimes you might be doing not a damn thing wrong. You get fucking pulled over. You let the cop know, I have a concealed carry license, and they still shoot you. All this motherfucking cops got to do, at least in Oklahoma right now, is what? I smell fucking marijuana in your car. Get out the fucking vehicle. Sorry, Oklahoma, y'all fucked up with that one. So, on a lighter note, listen. You
got to give me at least one.
Right. All right. So, on a lighter note, it is 4th of July weekend. You know, like we had Juneteenth a couple of weeks ago, which is more of the Black Independence Day. Like, are we like black and white independence? Are we black and white America now? Are we like just like separate?
You really want to go there? You want to be on one today?
Are we separate? I mean,
Juneteenth, 4th of July,
less than a month away from each other.
Somebody that I heard tied in Juneteenth to Father's Day. I'm like, come on, man. When does this end? Like, I don't mind being creative, but it's like, is it really going to serve a purpose? Like, what's the outcome? Like, if we're talking, why are we talking in that direction? That's how I personally think.
What I'm saying, why are we talking in that direction? Like, I'm saying, like, 4th of July hits a little different this year.
How so?
I feel like this our nation is not as patriotic, like as it wants to be, as it needs to be. I really don't feel the energy like this 4th of July like I did like any other year. Including last year when we were in quarantine.
To me, it just depends on what station you're listening to. Because I don't listen to anything else except what I've got going on. Because people have hijacked this narrative of who's right and who's wrong. I don't give a fuck about none of that. What I give a fuck about is, can I help you? And if that's cool, cool. If not, I keep it moving. Like, people are going to do whatever the hell they want to do. I got a short life. I give a fuck less about what's going on anywhere else except how do I help somebody right in front of me. And I'm very serious about that because...
So are you more 1984 or Brave New World?
Neither, because I've worked behind the scenes to see how this stuff is creative. So it's the third option, none of the above. Thank you very much for playing, sir. That's some advanced level shit right there that just happened. That's why you can't troll. Troll!
I live under the bridge.
Yeah, I live under the bridge downtown. But literally, like, I'm there sitting creating propaganda in the military.
Yeah.
I see things completely different. Like, and what I see is, and I talked about this even in another podcast, like literally what I've seen is extraction of the information that I know into mainstream. I've seen that. So as a result of that, people get creative and they create this other shit. And that's why we always say bring the data, not the drama, because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. What's the data saying? And I know you're very data driven like that. So it's very left brain, but people get real creative with the propaganda to shift their own narratives. Like we talked about last week, you know, like the top 10, what? Like how Kentucky win? How the fuck did y'all figure out that list? You know, like there was no, you know what I'm saying? Like people, now that we have cameras, now that you can just pretty much blast out internationally, it needs to be real expensive to do that. People are hijacking narratives, bro. And that's really how I play. I see it and I just kind of go, you know, what we are doing right now in Canivision and Canapreneur is so big that I just want to continue focusing in on that lane. And if people start trying to impinge on that, you know how to handle that.
Of course.
we're good, you know?
Of course. But I would be remiss if I didn't address that.
I agree.
Like on a national level, I'm not seeing as much love for our country abroad. Is it because we are being bombarded with? This is why I see things like everybody's like, oh, 1984, like, oh yeah, like a Big Brother, like a surveillance state. Like I see this more of like Brave New World. For those of you who are not on game, 1984 is a cliche of like, oh yeah, like Big Brother is here to get us. It's a bunch of misinformation. You know, what's up is down, what's down is up. A lot of the bullshit that Trump organization was putting out, Trump administration. However, if you know Brave New World, Brave New World is like we have been bombarded with so much information, we don't know how to fucking make a choice.
Exactly. There you go. That's more accurate. Like what I coach on is the tyranny of choice.
What is real?
That's
what
real.
is not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Analysis paralysis.
Yes.
Like I feel like that's where we are.
That's
if motherfuckers have no focus.
Yeah, that's the new warfare. That is the new warfare.
Oh, here's another choice.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another choice.
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Yeah.
Like I think 3, like a little bit of a numerologist. I think 3 is perfect number for choices. You know, give me 3 fucking choices. It shouldn't be 2. 2 is not enough. 4 is too many. 3 is good. But I feel like we have way too many choices across the board. And here's another holiday. Here's another holiday.
Yeah.
Here's another one. You don't really feel this. You go with this one.
There's already 365 holidays, bro.
Every day, every single day.
Already, but
so 4th of July weekend, cannabis drinks have been taking over. So the CBD, there's a huge CBD drink beverage growth trend that's going straight to the fucking moon right now. So High Yield Insights came through and said people are looking for products with minor cannabinoids. Delta 8.
I saw that.
No idea where I was going.
Yeah, just a little major one.
People seem to agree that they're looking for certain terpenes, but even more so that they're looking for certain cannabinoids. There's been a huge uptick, 13% of people looking for specifically Delta 8. Delta 8 this year in cannabis drinks coming out. This shit ain't even legal in most places.
Well, it's just increased curiosity. That's why.
They've created a demand.
Yeah, they've created demand 100%. Right. Yeah, that's why I see.
So, New Market Research Report finds that consumers of CBD beverages care far more about issues such as sustainability than most adults. 41% of CBD drinkers reporting a preference for sustainable brands compared to 21% of the general U.S. population aged 21 and over. Similarly, 40% of CBD beverage drinkers have a better opinion of socially conscious brands, while only 18% of the general population report the same. Report draws from a recent survey of over 35,000 U.S. adults, with over 4,000 are current CBD users, including over 1,200 consumers of non-alcoholic CBD drinks. Hold on, non-alcoholic CBD drink? There's alcoholic CBD drinks? Like
that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. So
that doesn't make any sense.
So, but the findings do show more CBD consumers are turning to drinkables. I've been saying this for fucking years.
You've been saying it for a while.
Drinkables. An earlier study conducted High Yield Insights and Cannabis Consumer Insights firm found that spring 2019 that 17% of CBD users of drink beverages infused with CBD. Data showed 29% of the CBD consumers now drink CBD beverages in some frequency. So drinks are on the rise. Of all of these CBD consumers, 29% of them, as opposed to 17% last year, are all drinking beverages. So beverages are on the rise. CBD beverages, THC beverages are on the rise. Are they going to be replacing alcohol?
I think it'd be a better choice. They're already in the market. They're already out here. Mm-hmm. They've already put their claws in. They've got the infrastructure. They just flip the switch.
So do you think that it's going to be like low grade or low toxicity, like a social lubrication, like a social lubricant, like similar to how alcohol is? Because alcohol goes back to like before time. Like I was actually listening like this week on some shit, like I think like in the Turkish remains, like 13 to 15,000 years ago.
Well, they got
motherfuckers used to party, and that's how they got motherfuckers to work.
Yeah,
they gave them alcohol so they could work together.
I think at the end of the day, people just don't want control over their lives. Like they want somebody else controlling their life. That's what it really boils down to. So these people who already have the infrastructures and frameworks, they're always going to shift the narrative, bro. They're going to say that this is the best thing since sliced bread. There were studies out there that said sugar is healthy for you. This is facts.
The sugar lobby. Shout out to JFK.
I literally met about maybe 2012
of the Fonho family.
I met a food scientist, and all they do is literally engineer foods so that they taste a certain way so that they can market that way.
Right.
They've completely, as far as just shifted the narrative. I prefer like even as I know this sounds crazy, like we have grapes that are grown in our backyard. They're the best ones that taste like they're wine quality grapes. Like you got to taste them. And that tastes way better to me than this processed bullshit, and even the quote unquote organic ones that are out there now. But the seeds have been altered to the point where they're almost not the same anymore. So when we start bringing it back upstream, we've already been conditioned to what's the next big thing, and okay, we'll just do it.
I just love seeing scientists and like geneticists like just shoot down like this whole organic bullshit.
Yeah,
like nothing is organic.
It's true.
If you like grapes without seeds in them, they're not organic.
Yeah. Super fast.
Just saying.
Yeah.
You like green peas? They're not organic.
Yeah. That's real.
But you want to get sold a bunch of like bullshit marketing buzzwords.
That's why marketing is so important. People don't understand that, bro. They have no clue. I'm just like, look, nobody gives a shit about that shit. What they give a shit about is hijacking your mind to sell you their next shit. Mm-hmm. It's true. So yeah, so they're gonna. So if the alcohol industry shows that the data's not supporting their industry anymore, they've already leapfrogged into a different industry,
right?
And it's an emerging industry. So
right,
I think that it's an all win for them either way you look at it, because on one hand they can still produce and they can ramp down and become more efficient, and they're ramping up over here. Mm-hmm. They're not going to miss their dollars. They got too many people out there who actually do analysis for them to show which way trends are going.
Right.
So I think they're going to be doing both, and it sounds like based on that's right. Pabst came out with the drink. Yeah.
There's a bunch
St. Ides.
There's a bunch of large beverage producers that have gotten into the game.
Yeah.
But what the preliminary data is telling us is like people don't give a fuck about like the large beverage. They want to go for the boutique,
craft.
Like what this this data is saying like right here. They want to go to socially conscious, and a lot of those like large companies don't give a fuck about no socially conscious anything. But if you continue to move the way you do, that's how you actually move the needle. Like, it's where the consumer goes.
Yeah.
And so pretty soon you're gonna see some frou-frou PBR, some frou-frou like InBev.
I'm gonna make a prediction here.
Shit, craft.
I'm gonna make a prediction.
Cannabis.
Somebody's gonna come up with a TV series that's gonna be talking about families in cannabis, and they're gonna have all their products there, and they're gonna be having like a reality TV thing. Well, I'm just saying, like it's gonna be national. It's gonna be like, I don't know of anybody who's national. It's getting to that point right now where somebody's gonna hijack that narrative.
And then you're gonna find out like the kids are gonna grow up like away from the cannabis community. They're gonna grow up on meth, and they're gonna go through some like a downward spiral. And we're gonna be watching every step of the way.
Sponsored by
Canivision. Speaking of, give a shout out before we hop off. Wish you guys a happy Independence Day.
See, we're independent thinkers.
We really are. Big shout out to Califia Gold Club.
Shout out.
Gotta replenish the soul.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out Califia Gold Club. My man Eddie Washington out there. Check out our piece that we did on our YouTube channel with Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie.
Some incredible product lineup, and he has a yacht party. The $750 motherfucking giveaway. So make sure you guys click on Califia Gold. A big shout out to them. They're doing big things. A big shout out to Maison Tight. A big shout out to all of our sponsors, all of our collaborators. We love you much. Independence Day weekend, it's all about, just like freeing your mind. Free your fucking mind. Get out there, get some pool time in for whatever you celebrate 4th of July, even if it's just another fucking day. I love you, and I hope you got some good weed on you. I don't care what your preferences are. I don't care what your beliefs are, but I do care that you're smoking on some good dank. Thanks. I love you, and this is not a encouragement. This is not a endorsement. So please don't fucking, but don't knock me for that. But I do hope that if you are smoking on something, you're smoking on some good shit, and because we definitely will be. I'm gonna get my barbecue on. I'm gonna get my, my unpatriotic patriotism like I got up to par, and and happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. My birthday's coming up. We will be in New York next week. Shout out to Happy Monkey.
Yes.
Shout out to Kush Club, Big Kush J, out there in NYC celebrating their emancipation from cannabis oppression as they tiptoe into their freedoms as well. Anything else you wanna say to the people before we take a little bit of a hiatus?
Nah, just shout out to Biden and Kamala for saving me 16 cents on my barbecue this weekend. So shout out to the monarchy.
Kamala Harris, what you got to say about Sha'Carri? Yo, for real.
Come holler at your boy.
President Harris, what you gonna say? See y'all next week.
We got a clown, bro.
See y'all next week. I love you all. And make sure you guys check out www.canivision.com.
Yes.
If you guys got any question at all, we are here to spread the love and the knowledge, because if you ain't getting it from us, chances are it ain't vetted. And if it ain't vetted, you can forget it. Ooh, fuck the bullshit. Booty rocking everywhere. Skirt.